Tickets for the Billings St. Jude Dream Home giveaway are going fast, and we're thrilled about that because not only will one Q2 viewer win a beautiful $500,000 classic design home in Ironwood subdivision, we're also helping to bring an end to pediatric cancers and other life-threatening diseases. Janelle and Q2 chief photographer Paul Humphrey traveled to Memphis so that they could show us how that's happening. Janelle?
Well, Russ, even a brief visit to St. Jude is overwhelming. There is so much to tell. So over the next weeks, we will show you why your ticket purchase is important. Tonight, we begin the story with who we met and how their work, their pain, and their passions perpetuate this mission.
More than 8,500 sick children walk through these doors every year, many of them with little hope left.
For me personally, without hope, there's nothing. That's what this hospital is about, is hope.
And Melinda Wood knows that possibly better than anyone who's ever entered St. Jude. Diagnosed with cancer as a teenager not once, but twice. She gave up. The people here at St. Jude did not. So now she's part of the team.
I get it. I understand that nothing is promised. Every minute is precious. If I can make a difference in one patient's life by smiling at them, by sharing with them, with listening to them, I've got it all.
You can tell he's in pain because he'll just look at you like, help me.
This is Luke's mom. He is 18 months old and was born with tumors in his eyes.
We lived in Colorado and they would fly us out here. Nobody else would do that. We couldn't afford to.
But because no patient or family ever pays for treatment, travel, housing, or food, Luke will see the world.
What's your name?
Ashton.
Ashton? You are beautiful, Ashton.
Thank you.
And this is 5-year-old Ashton, a living doll, diagnosed with medulloblastoma, brain cancer, just last spring. And because St. Jude has the world's best survival rates for some of the most aggressive forms of childhood cancers, she's here to win the fight.
So admitted Monday, surgery Wednesday, diagnosis Friday, discharge Sunday. She woke up asking for Sprite, if that gives you any insight of this child.
St. Jude has developed protocols that have helped push the pediatric cancer survival rate from 20% in 1962 to more than 80% today. The next big goal, 90%, with an eventual hope to end childhood cancer.
Incredible progress, but it's not 100%, and that's what we all want.
Dr. Lindsay Blazin, one of the best and brightest, brought to St. Jude to help find cures and heal kids. But here, she's found much more.
St. Jude manages to balance that. We focus a lot on cure, and our researchers live for that. And we also prioritize the kids that are here and caring for them regardless of what their outcome is going to be. I think that we provide excellent care to the kids that are going to live into their 80s, and I think that we provide equally excellent and compassionate care to the kids that aren't going to make it to high school.
This is my second visit to St. Jude, and again, I left wanting to do anything I can to help beat childhood cancer.
Yeah, I've been there as well. It really is an amazing place.
It is.
I think the thing that really impresses me is how they share their research
as
well, and it's so important. That's why we're behind this effort, because it's helping kids here in Montana as well. The $100 ticket will be on sale until they run out, and you can enter by calling the number you see there on your screen. That line is open 24/7, and due to Montana law, tickets cannot be purchased with a credit card. So if you don't have a debit card, you can find out how to reserve a ticket with cash or check at dreamhome.org, or you can call for more information. And an update, those tickets, they're going fast.
As of late this afternoon, 2,645 tickets are spoken for.